Hey, they love me so much in jail, bro. They threw me a party when I left. I swear to God, like they threw me a whole party. We had liquor, we had uh pockets, we had cake. These folk made cake, bro. These folk was in there making apple pie with no apples, fool. I swear. You hear what I'm saying? What's moving, everybody? Hey, so look, check it out, right? I've been getting a lot of comments, and y'all been asking me to tell the story about where my name came from. So it's a quick story, you know what I mean? But before I jump into that, like always, I want to thank everybody who been clicking that button, who been liking, sharing, subscribing, you know what I'm saying? It's really been dope kicking it with y'all. You know what I mean? Telling these little hood stories, man. Cause really, listen, bro, everything I tell y'all is real life. It's genuine. I either seen it happen or I went through it myself, or I was with somebody that it happened to. You know what I'm saying? This is real experience. You feel what I'm saying? All right, so look, check it, right? For those of y'all who watch my content, y'all know I got locked up with my brother. You know what I'm saying? We was facing some hard time, because we got caught up in a robbery, basically. You know what I'm saying? So my bail was like 150,000 at the time. I think his bail was like $250,000. My brother bail. So when I got locked up, man, I knew I wanted to be a rapper. You know what I'm saying? I knew I wanted to rap. I knew I wanted to be in the entertainment business of just period, So I used to go around maybe a month after my bid, a month or a month and a half after my bid, I used to go around and just beat on the walls and sing. You know what I'm saying? I used to make songs up and I just used to sing to the point where inmates used to ask me to sing every night. Like it had got to the point where I started singing folks to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd be in my cell, somebody would yell down to my cell and be like, "Hey, hit it." You know what I'm saying? Everybody used to call me Lil J. You feel me? That's my name that I was given growing up. You feel me? My family, they call me Lil J. My friends growing up, they always used to call me Lil J. That was like my hood name, right? So they'll hit the door and they'll be like, "Lil J, sing something for me tonight." Maybe somebody had trouble sleeping, or they was going through it, or they had caught in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Because mind you, if y'all watch my content, then y'all know I was on the 7th floor. I was on the 7th floor with nothing but killers, drug dealers, rapists, top tier criminals. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these guys ain't really feel like they had hope. Some of these guys, they was in there for murder. They ain't feel like they were gonna see their family again, and I was amongst them. You know what I'm saying? Like, although I was in there for armed robbery, y'all know that's like one of the 10 deadly sins or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that junk hold 10, and I was maybe about 18, 19 at the time. Not being able to see my folks till I was 28, 29. That was crazy to me. You feel me? Especially being on the 7th floor. Being on the 7th floor, like, it really humble you. You know what I mean? Like, because not only are you up there with a whole bunch of people that, you could get into it with, you up there with a whole bunch of people that, like I said, ain't really just got as much hope as you might have. You feel me? As much family as you might have and things like that. So, what I used to do maybe a month and a half into my bid, I started, when I got comfortable with everybody for the most part, you know what I'm saying? And just got to know certain people. I was always writing. I was always writing music because when I went to jail, I knew I wanted to be an artist of some sort, whether it be singing or rapping. But what I started doing maybe a month and a half in my bid was I would write original songs and I would beat on the wall and just sing them. You know what I'm saying? I just randomly, I beat on the wall and just start singing a song. You feel me? And the inmates took a liking to that. It got to the point where at nighttime, the inmates would, certain inmates, if they had court in the morning, or if they didn't get their visitation, or if they was going through anything at all, even if they couldn't sleep, you know what I'm saying? they'll yell down to my dorm, or to my pod though, and they'll holler like, "Hey man, hit that, Lil J." You feel me? So I it was a flap in the door at the jail. Like, say, when you get locked down, it's a little flap that they hand you your mail through, or they hand you your food through, if you on lockdown or whatever like that. And I would open up that flap, I would beat on the door, and I would just sing so the whole pod could hear. You feel me? And it was just dope because it was like they could never get enough. You know what I'm saying? Like I sit there and sing 2, 3, 4 songs that night. You know what I mean? It'll be lights out and I'll still be sitting there singing, upon request. You feel me? Like I told you, like some of these folks was going to court the next morning or whatever, they just needed a little bit of encouragement or needed just a little light. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I used to do. You feel me? I really just sing. Sing or rap, and it was always about the struggle. If it wasn't about the struggle, then it was something better. You know what I'm saying? Something that we all could relate to. So hey, look, a side note too, right? When I was in DeKalb County, we actually had a talent show night on everything. One of the COs, bruh. One of the COs, he was a new CO, and he was into music himself. You know what I'm saying? He was in the. Okay, so we used to have this big old pod, and it used to be like maybe 5 pods going in a circle, and in the middle was the CO, like the CO location. You know what I'm saying? Where he oversee all the inmates. He can look around and see every pod, right? So one night he picked well he called he messaged on the intercom, and he asked the pods like, "Hey, who's your best entertainer in the pod?" Right? And of course everybody voted for me, you know what I'm saying? And it was other entertainers in other pods, or other people that rapped in other pods. And it was dope because he called all the entertainers out. It was like 1:00 in the morning, you feel me, after hours. He wasn't even supposed to be doing this, but he was a real one for it, because we didn't really have too much to look forward to, you know what I'm saying? It was a good moment, you know what I'm saying? But he called them all out, and we pushed the button so we could rap on the intercom, you know what I'm saying? And we performed our music, our original music, or whatever we was rapping, you know what I'm saying? And they picked the winner and all that. Of course I won. You know what I'm saying? Because I was really doing that. You feel me? Hey, but look, check it though. As far as to how I got my name, right? So I used to go around singing all the time and just uplifting people. You know what I mean? And I always just kept it real with folks. You know what I mean? I never really felt like I had a reason to lie. So one day I wrote down a couple names, and I wrote down like 3 or 4 names. I can't even remember the names, you know what I'm saying? But I wrote down about 3 or 4 names, and I went around the whole pod, and I asked everybody, every single body in the pod, because I was cool with everybody, for the most part. I asked everybody in the pod what would be a good rap name for me, because I was planning on pushing this when I got out of jail. Straight up, this is what I wanted to do, even if it was 10 years later. You know what I'm saying? That was just going to give me more to rap about. I knew what I wanted to do. So I might have got to the 3rd person, and they didn't like nothing on my list, But that 3rd person said, "Why don't you just name yourself 100? So I'm like, 100, it don't really got that ring to it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to write it down though. So I went across the whole pod, the rest of the pod, after that 3rd person. And, now I got 100 added to the list. So I'm naming the list, and I get to 100. And every time I got to 100, it was like, it was a consensus. The whole pod just felt like my name should be 100, And before I got locked up, I belonged to a gang called Wildlife. You know what I'm saying? Not really a gang, you know, more so family, you know what I mean? But we called ourselves Wildlife, you know? So that's where the Wildlife came from in Wildlife 100. You know, I never dropped it. But like I said, I went around the whole pod and they all agreed, came to a consensus to the name 100 to the point where when everybody came out of lockdown, you know, that's what they start calling me. You know what I'm saying? It was like we had a jail meeting or something. It was like, yeah, that's you. You know, you don't never lie. You know, you always keep it real with us, and you know, we can holler at you about certain things. We can holler at you about certain things. You ain't gonna tell the next guy. You ain't gonna none of that. You feel me? So I ain't really like the name at first, but because of the meaning behind it and because how everybody felt behind that particular name, I kept it, dog. And I vowed to myself that, hey, I'm gonna make it stick. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make it stick out here. And so far I feel like that's what I done did. You know what I'm saying? I done been on tour with Money Man. You know, I done did shows with Rollo. I done did a lot of stuff out here. You know what I mean? And it's just been dope, you know, people actually coming up to me and calling me by my name, 100, you know, knowing the origin, me personally knowing the origin of where it came from and, you know, how special it is to me. You know, it's been dope, like, actually presenting myself in this light. You feel me? But, yeah, man. Hey, they love me so much in jail, bro. They threw me a party when I left. I swear to God, like, they threw me a whole party. We had liquor. We had pockets. We had cake. These folk made cake, bro. These folk was in there making apple pie with no apples, fool. I swear. You hear what I'm saying? On everything. The day before, maybe 2 days before I left, I'm talking about even my roommate. He made sure he mixed up this concoction to make this liquor out of bread. You know what I mean? Bread and orange peels. A week or two before I was being released, and they really threw a party for me when I left the jail. You know what I'm saying? On my mama, dog. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's been dope, you know, getting out, getting free, and even actually seeing some of them other folks in the real world, and they looking up to me like, hey, bro, you really did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's been dope. But hey, man, y'all like, share, subscribe, and, you know, comment, man. Let me know what y'all think, how y'all feel. You know what I'm saying? It's been dope, man. It's really been dope entertaining y'all. But hey, man, until next time, 100.